For this REU at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, I'm very grateful that I got accepted to this program because it was my first choice in research experience. Yet, even when I was applying and even when I first got here, I had no idea what to expect. But overall, now that it's all coming to an end, I've had a great summer and I've learned so much more than I could have even imagined. So again, going back to not knowing what to expect, I come from Illinois State University, and I'm working on an undergraduate degree in general mathematics, and I'm only taken one course in research, and it was um, not very involved. There was just a few of us in the course, and none of it was actually related to something applicable in the real industry. So that's what sets this program apart from anything else I've ever done in academia, is that we did data-enabled industrial mathematics, and the data that we used was collected by Pacific Northwest National Laboratory, which is a very prestigious national laboratory that operates within the Department of Energy. So it was really cool to have an impact in something that's as large as our US government. And the data that we received was actual data collected by ultraviolet visible spectroscopy, which is something many people have heard of, but again, before I came here, I had very little experience. So just getting the description of our problem opened my eyes to many different fields of where math can be used within chemistry for our project. And as we went through our entire year working with our industry partner, we were also working with Dr. Berezovsky daily. And that's something that I'd like to note, is that Dr. Berezovsky invested all of his energy in not only bringing us here and making us prepared to deal with our industry partner, but also opening our eyes to all the possibilities that we have as young, driven students in STEM. So he wasn't there. He was our director, but he wasn't there directing our every move. He was actually leaving us out in the open to figure things out for ourselves, because that is one of the main things that we learned this summer, was learning how to be comfortable in a situation where you're not very uncomfortable. So learning how to push through things that you've never seen before. So instead of helping us out and guiding us through, he kind of just gave us all of the resources that we could possibly need, and then urged us to figure things out on our own. And outside of our research, some other things that he opened our eyes to were different ways to get involved in industry. For example, connecting with our industry partner and looking for internships. He also brought a bunch of alumni to speak with us about different internships, as well as external funding in case we wanted to continue our education. So all of this information that I'm receiving, even outside of what we're researching, just on a daily basis, was unlike anything that I've ever been able to access at Illinois State. I've, of course, gone to research symposiums, gone to talks and things, but none of them were so dedicated towards the growth of an undergraduate student. While some of them did offer opportunities or, I guess, a plan or goals, here we were really focused on what kind of impact we'd like to make and where we can find the funding, whether it be in a certain company through internships, or whether it be through the government or through Embry-Riddle specifically. We were encouraged to look for different means of continuing our education so that we can be as qualified as we hope to be for whatever our future endeavors are. So lastly, I would just like to say that throughout this summer, both in our work, outside of our work with all of my coworkers, and just being here on campus with everything going on, I've learned a lot about Embry-Riddle. I've learned a lot about industry, and I've also learned a lot about what I think I want to do with my life and how that is drastically different. Overall, this program has inspired me in many different ways to continue my education, as well as strive for things that I may not have believed that I could have done in the past.